Welcome to Love in the Love Boat, where we break down episodes of one of the greatest romantic comedy drama television series of all time. I'm Istvan, Chicagoland's beloved children's musician and TV fanatic.
And I'm Michelle, pop culture enthusiast.
So come aboard, we're expecting you to join us for another edition of
Love in the Love Boat.
Hi guys, Istvan here. Before we start the show, I just want to say that today we are joined by very special guest, Ryan Patrick Murphy. Ryan is our friend, and in addition to that, Ryan is someone I played in bands with. He is the person who was responsible for recording my very first kids EP, The Things I Like EP. He also has provided lights for artists like Andrew Bird, Wilco, and toured with Leonard Cohen all the way until his final tour. And he is also in bands, including Poi Dog Pondering, who, if you are in the Chicagoland area, will be playing at Ravinia on July 23rd, which also happens to be Ryan's birthday. So go check those guys out. So I'd like you to meet Ryan now.
Because that's what it's called, I think.
Gangplank?
Gangplank.
I don't know what it's called. What's it called?
That's the thing you walk across to get on the boat.
Hey guys, guess what?
What?
We started.
Oh, nice. It's a gangplank.
The man you've just heard describing what a gangplank is yes, of course, Ryan Patrick Murphy, our guest, who we are so happy to have here today.
Full of nautical terms.
Nautical wisdom at all times. Now, he is actually drinking. Michelle made him a killer, extra large Isaac, so he is enjoying a drink.
But he also makes a killer rye tie.
Yeah. So I've been told. Pardon me.
I don't remember that, though. The rye tie is pretty awesome.
You don't remember that.
You don't remember. That's why we have those tiny umbrellas up there from the rye ties.
They're still there?
They are.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 13, lucky number 13. We are about to set sail on. Will you guys agree that it was a weird episode?
It was dark.
Kinda, yeah.
Dark.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now hang on. We do have our guest Ryan with us today. We are very, very happy we captured him before he has to take off to parts unknown. But let me just get to the storylines really quickly, and then we can deal with the strangeness that we all encountered. And we are so glad to have you guys here on this cruise, too. Story number 1.
All aboard!
It is called
train, right?
Cinderella Story, written by Bruce Shelley.
Why did they call it that?
Don't know. Hang on.
I know why.
Bruce Shelley double dipped on this one. Hang on. Second story, Too Hot to Handle, by Ben Jolson and Art Bear. And finally, we have our third story, Family Reunion, also written by Bruce Shelley. Now, guys, there are so many guests. Can we all handle who are the guests on this show? Can we go down the line?
Well,
Go
you
for
have to
it.
go with the number one,
Which is who?
Bob Crane.
Oh, God.
He was so creepy.
Right? And then, you kind of wondered maybe...
Can I talk about just right out the gate how dismissive of Julie he was?
Come on, Ginger, you're gonna have to leave the ship. You're gonna get me in hot water.
I'd say you're already in it, clear up to your neck. Who's the wet blanket?
Ginger, this is Julie McCoy. She's an officer. The most ship-shape officer I've ever served under.
Teddy, you're late. You're improperly dressed, and this is not the crew entrance.
Oh, come on, Julie.
Please report to your duty at once.
You're not pulling rank on me, are you?
Well, hang on. Let me just say, the thing about this is sort of the second time we're seeing something, or maybe third, right, of a crew member that you never hear about otherwise.
Well, I mean, there's 3,000 people on those boats?
But
600, I
they
think,
act
is the
like
count.
he's been on this cruise this whole
Oh, they're not the super
season.
cruisers yet, right?
But you don't see this member of the staff and the crew. Now, we had on episode 9,
You don't see any of the janitors or anything either, though.
Vincent Baguetta.
Who's that?
Vincent Baguetta. He was the plumber on the ship that we never saw until that episode. So he was on that, and now we're seeing Bob Crane. I don't remember what his name was on this. Do you remember? His actual name? And then, ladies and gentlemen, while they're trying to remember that,
John?
I don't want to ruin Hogan's Heroes for anyone out there, but if you don't know the backstory of Bob Crane and his dark, dark life in Hollywood, you need to do a little research into this because
Equally as creepy in real life.
Yes, it
And
gives
I was
a
going to say
whole
that character
other...
when he not the dad character of him, but the other
when he's
character, not
talking
too
at the
far off from
beginning.
probably how he might have really been in real life.
Like leaning up against the door with his, Hey, how you doing, honey? That like crazy woman at the beginning.
But the fact that they also have a Polaroid camera as like a through line in
he's
this
just
too,
going off
knowing
with that
about
thing.
him and his
Do you think
life.
he suggested it?
I don't know, but it's just so strange that they're saying some of the jokes that they're saying. I actually may have one that I can drop in right now.
Oh, he is a terrific character. The captain? No, the reprobate and his girlfriend. Oh, Teddy.
You think I could get a picture of him?
I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunities. He's your cabin steward.
All right, now let's do the remainder of the cast before we get into it, because there's a lot of people on this
Yeah,
episode.
and the rest of the Bob Crane cast is an actress named Dori Brenner
Was that her?
that played ultimately his daughter.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think that's correct. I thought you meant
Spoiler alert.
the ginger
Yeah, I
or
know.
whatever the girl's name was.
No, I don't know who was that. And then, of course, good old Robert Hayes, Airplane.
Airplane guy. I knew
That's
that
who it
guy.
is. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I recognize. I didn't know his name though.
sweating.
We also have somebody whose name I didn't
Flop
recognize, but you know for sure, David White, also Larry Tate from Bewitched. You know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I think he was. Aren't they in advertising in Bewitched too? Isn't that what
Yeah,
their job?
I think you're right.
There's so many like major things like advertising as
That's
like
because
sort
it's
of a
such
trope.
it's such a vague
yeah,
profession that
but
you
they
could
used
get
it
away
all
with
the
it.
time
Yeah.
on sitcoms.
Because like I don't really know what they do, so let's just say they're in advertising.
Oh, it's insane. So he's on there, and then there's these other two older people of wait, hang on, what was the one old guy's name? Oh, Don Defore.
Yeah.
Who was on Ozzie and Harriet, I guess, not a show I was
They're
familiar with.
familiar faces
Was he the
from
soap owner?
Yeah, he was. And then his wife, I think, is Rosemary DeCamp, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
she the mom or the grandma in the Partridge Family?
Oh, I think you're right. She did. I was trying to picture her, and I,
think
meant
that
to
was
look
her.
her up. I think you're right.
She is a tough broad on this one, though, man. She's tough. She's like giving her husband a hard time.
ball breaker.
Yeah,
Well, the other one, who's like the wife of the ad guy.
Oh, that's who he's talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant of the soap guy. He was by himself, wasn't he?
he was.
Yeah.
He was. He was riding
Soap
solo.
guy is the guy from Bewitched.
Him and Bob
Why would he
Crane.
be on that boat just because he was with those two, the ad?
I think they were
guys?
trying to like hang on to the account
account.
or something.
Yeah, they're
like
trying
that.
to get
They
his,
couldn't
keep his-
believe that other guy was on the boat, who wasn't the other guy.
Correct.
Wait, I have something to add to that one too. But hang on. Then we have the Bruce Solomon, who is sort of the guy who's masquerading as the actual ad person. And then
Dirt poor.
Yeah, he
poor.
just works in a store.
Grocery store manager.
Then we have John Rubenstein, who I loved.
Oh
as-
my God, I have a good story about him.
Please share it.
So
Which one was he?
He was the husband, like the comical couple,
they
Kathy
got like
Bates.
the
We're missing
poison
Kathy
ivy.
Bates.
Oh, Kathy Bates, you didn't
That
mention
story
is his
was
wife. They're
very
newlyweds.
thin. That was a very thin story. That
Yeah,
one,
there's
wasn't
always
it?
one.
There has
Yeah.
to be. There has to be the one just comic relief
Just
one.
kind of there. So it's always a married couple. So yeah, they're recently married. But so I follow this page on Instagram called 70s Heavy
Listen to her
Rock
serious
Fan.
tone. What kind of tone?
And they post clips. Long story short, so they post this clip of the James Gang rocking in the desert in the
What
70s.
song?
I don't remember. But then everybody is cool on this site, so they know what it is. And it's this movie called Zachariah, an electric western. And Rubenstein is the star with Don Johnson.
Oh my God.
That's weird.
It looks amazing. Like the trailer, it looks so cool.
Oh, you haven't seen this movie?
No, I just recently found out about it, which is weird that he's in this episode,
He's great. I like him
that
a
he's
lot.
the star of this movie. I'd never heard of it before, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I never heard of it until recently.
Wait, say the name of it again. What is it called?
Zachariah.
And this is
Zachariah.
the store clerks in this?
No,
that's the other dude.
The Poison Ivy.
The Poison Ivy guy.
Yeah.
And it's called an electric western. And I'm not sure we explained that the grocery clerk guy kind of assumed the identity of another ad exec that they thought was on the ship.
Yeah.
Like a famous.
Oh, wait, hang on.
ad
Let's go
exec,
back. Let's go back.
Like Mad Men style.
Here, wait, let's go
Totally.
back.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. These guys don't have a lot of money. They're kind of like a young couple. They get onto the ship just ready to have like this vacation that they've paid a lot of money for.
They've saved up a long time for.
But this other couple who are advertising powerhouse, they have this quote unquote luxury suite
The
to this,
promenade suite.
and they aren't going to make the cruise. So the crew comes up with a scheme to give this cabin to this young couple.
Hey, you guys, look at this. The Martin Stockwoods have canceled their cruise. The promenade suite is going empty. All that luxury completely paid for. What a waste.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, I'll stay there. But remember, I offered to make the sacrifice. Excuse me. Hi. Hi. We're Mr. and Mrs. Bill Edwards.
Hello, welcome aboard. Let's see, Edwards. Yes, you're on the Aloha deck, cabin 101.
Uh-oh. The boom boom room. Sounds like we'll be sleeping in the bar.
No, actually, it's just a rather small cabin.
Right above the engines.
And all night long it goes boom?
No. Boom boom. That's okay. We've been saving for this vacation for a long time. And the boom boom room will be fine.
You know, I just had a strange idea.
You ever have any other kind?
The promenade suite.
No, we couldn't.
No way. No.
Why not?
The promenade suite isn't any different than any
It's
of
bigger.
It's a little bigger.
It has a bigger bed.
They were
as they
talking
stated.
about it like it was luxurious,
Well,
but
it
it's
came
not
with all,
different.
it came with all the drinks that the crew started drinking when they went in there.
Right.
I was like, wait a second. What?
Yet Bob
They-
Crane
they're
got in
pour-
trouble for drinking.
Yeah, and they're
but
pouring
then
their
they're
own
pouring
drinks.
champagne in the beginning.
And didn't the captain came in and saw him there with like
Right.
with
Double
martini
standard.
glass?
I think they didn't expect the captain to come in, and they were just like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
but the captain didn't say
we're cheating, like like in doing this thing that we're not supposed to be doing. So we may as well drink while we're at it, What
not
about
the whole thing.
Okay, before he finds out, like this is just shy before. I'm jumping to the Bob Crane story. He is what is he? A ship steward or something like
Yeah.
that?
steward, yeah.
So he goes into the room of the girl that it turns out to be his actual birth daughter that he left at 8 months old. And he's like, you guys go out, I'll unpack for you. Is that a
that's why I
normal
said-
thing?
I thought the same thing.
I'm like,
no
I would
offense.
never let this creep in
No,
my
I would
room
never
and
let
touch my
anybody
stuff.
come in my room and unpack my
Especially
luggage.
what I saw him doing at the
Right, they saw him
on
do that.
off the gangplank.
All right, so you're in agreement with me that you would not let Bob Crane
I thought that
touch
was
you.
very strange. That's a very
You
loose
guys
plot.
go.
Excuse me. Compliments of the ship.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yes, welcome aboard. I also have a little gift from me to you.
Caviar. I don't know what to say. We'll certainly mention your kindness to the captain.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. You see, it's from the captain's private stock. The very best. LSB. Less said, the better. You know what I mean. Hey, why don't we let this chill a while? And you two go exploring the ship, and I'll finish your unpacking. Huh?
Oh, no, but...
Oh, look, no trouble at all. Just remember to tip me handsomely at the end of the trip. That's
Well,
all.
all right. See you later, Teddy.
You bet.
It was really, really weird. I thought that was strange.
I'm okay.
Is that something?
Thanks.
And I was wondering, like, is that really something that maybe people do? Like, is that a feature of a ship that someone will...
I guess if you requested it, but I wouldn't want
I can
it.
barely let a bellboy bring my bags up.
But anyway, yeah, so he's unpacking their luggage and he sees a stack of Polaroids.
And Bob Crane perks right up.
Polaroids. And he, as he's looking through them, he sees the picture of the woman.
Was it a one-nighter? Or was it?
No, he left, right? He couldn't handle
They
the-
were together. They were
together.
together, and he bailed, like in classic not great guy form. He just like
Classic 70s dad.
yeah,
form.
like he just completely couldn't handle it and went to sea. Let me just get. I'm not even just going to leave. I'm going to go to sea to get away from
And
all
then
of
they
this.
made up some elaborate story to the
He was
poor
a
girl
captain.
who
Yeah.
went down with the ship.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Hot Rod, where they make like that he's a stuntman, but in reality he died by eating a sandwich. It's like it's not a great story to tell your kid. They want to think highly of their
Their
dad.
dad left.
That he was a captain of a ship, but in reality he was just like this sleazy dude. It's funny though, like the couple that are just riddled with bad luck. They're like these two really great actors, though. You know what I mean? You have
Yes,
like Kathy
they're good
Bates and this
together.
guy, and they're very, very good. He sells like that thing so hard. I thought he did such a good job. He was great. I liked him a lot. They have every single sort of cliche and trope because they just keep getting hit with all of this bad luck. What happens to them?
Poison ivy,
Classic.
sunburn.
Classic.
Because they're trying to seal their marriage, or they just got married.
Consummate, right?
their marriage, and so they can't get it to happen.
Yeah, but I thought the one was pretty funny where she was just full on taking a nap, like by the pool. You know, she'd fallen asleep, and then she gets sunburned. And the way that they set that up, where it looked as if they were about to finally consummate their relationship, and in reality, she was suffering from a sunburn.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm never gonna get to sleep tonight.
I know. Here.
Let me put some more cream on your sunburn. I always said you were too hot to handle.
Back to Bob Crane. He, once he discovers that that's his daughter, he hits the bar with Isaac and he starts drinking.
Did you see the size of the drink that he gave him?
He poured
It was
like
a whole glass of scotch. And then the captain comes
Of
over
course
and
he
sees
does.
him doing it. And then just like, this is one of your 1,000 last times.
But then there's a last time because then he gets taken to the captain's office because he's hammered.
May I have this chance?
I think I'll sit this one out.
Yes. Wrong partner.
This is the last straw. You have violated every standard of this ship. Come to my office.
Now!
Bob Crane is clearly drunk walking around the ship. And as Ryan pointed out once again, he runs into the captain.
Runs into the captain.
He's having some bad luck, just like those other guys.
The captain sees him, and this time it's time to go to the office.
Yes, it is.
Follow me to the office.
It's like the final last warning.
I'm going to sober him up with some coffee.
Yes,
Yeah.
always another classic from when we were growing up. Coffee, sobering you up really quick, and it kind of does the job.
Here, drink some more coffee. Then maybe I can get some sense out of you.
Sorry, sir.
You should be. Well, what excuse do you have this time?
That's a long story, sir.
Aren't they all?
Years ago, I ran away to sea. Deserted a wonderful woman and a beautiful baby we brought into this world. Alone, she raised the child by the sweat of her brow. And
I can hear the violins playing already. You don't expect me to buy this soap opera, do you?
Come on, Captain, it's the truth. Believe me, it's the truth. You may not have believed me before, but you can believe me now. And that child is on this ship now. Young Mrs. Bradley.
But then, see, now after that, there is a rap on the door because the captain has invited this woman to his cabin at about 10 p.m. to learn about her father, who she thinks is some sort of like famous captain who went down with a ship.
Yeah, and he's got the book that has all the shipwrecks in it, of course.
But Bob says, don't ruin her dream of who her dad is, please.
Don't tell her.
Yeah, I will walk the gangplank into the ocean. You'll never see me again.
He doesn't actually say that.
And so she comes into the room. Captain Merrill Stubing's doing his best to sort of like create this or continue this myth so she doesn't go snooping for a guy that doesn't really exist. And then Bob Crane just can't take it.
He can't keep it to himself.
No.
He just can't keep it in.
The guilt.
The guilt of the captain building him up into this great guy.
Yeah, of
gets
26
to be
years.
Too much.
Well, you know what? Let's lay the hammer on her and let her get the reveal of a lifetime after 26 years of thinking your dad is some sort of famous seaman. She finds out that her dad is really a weirdo.
I can't go on with this, Captain. Your father's not dead. And he was never a captain. He was never anything more than a ship's steward. He didn't handle that too well. He's none of the things the captain said he was. Wendy. He's me. I'm your father.
Did you see the way he laid himself upon the door as she left? That was like some serious stage acting right there.
That was the best. It was the best. I loved it so
It was
much.
so dramatic. Like, do you think he was like up for an Emmy, a daytime Emmy for that performance?
Absolutely not.
No, because what happened to Bob Crane, Michelle, shortly after the
He was
taping?
murdered not too long after this. Like 6 months later,
He
is
couldn't have
literally
won.
for real murdered.
Guys, I'm out there. Hey, potty mouth, watch that mouth.
I'm so sorry.
We're trying to reel in the family with this show.
Sorry.
Guys, I want
It's
you to
Bob
go.
Crane.
Just
There's
bleep
no
it out.
real.
I know, you really
family.
can't. Like, this is seedy
You
as
didn't
can
say
be.
I couldn't swear.
Well,
Sorry for
there's
swearing,
no hard and
everybody.
fast rule.
Sorry, everybody.
You do need to go and find out some of what happened with him because he also was Bob Crane. Also, you guys, he was like I do believe, like, kind of a groundbreaking DJ, too, in, like, Los
He
Angeles.
was.
And I remember Steve Dahl here in Chicago, who was, like, our favorite growing up. I listened to his show, Steve and Gary, here in Chicago when we were kids. We had amazing DJs here, Kevin Matthews, Jonathan Brandmeier. But Steve and Gary were, like, my favorites. And Michelle, her family, they loved Steve and Gary as well. He used to play clips of Bob Crane because it was an influence on him. In L.A., I think they had a lot of really, really innovative DJs, and he was one of them, like, doing sound effects and all kinds of stuff. So he was just kind of this crazy, talented, troubled guy, man.
Probably just got caught up. Well, I mean, when you learn the story, he probably had some influence too, but
It's all Richard Dawson's fault, is it?
it all comes back to Richard Dawson.
And I have a clip posted on our Instagram, and Lauren Hughes, she knew to steer clear of Richard Dawson. You could see her reaction when they were on Celebrity Family Feud.
Ryan was saying earlier, like, he didn't quite understand why it was a Cinderella story. But it's totally a Cinderella story because they're, like we had stated earlier, they're struggling financially. And then eventually, as
he gets offered the big job.
Well, when you come up with spots gone, you're going to get some sort of job offer.
You're going to get, like, the best job.
When you're throwing those kind of ideas around.
I wish it were that easy.
Yeah.
Spots gone.
Back in 1978, if you're a dude that just, like, stole the luxury suite, it was for you.
And then there was that, like,
identity.
running joke about how he was so good at, like, what was his skill set? Doing it.
That was his hobby.
That was his hobby. Okay, yeah.
It was so gross.
This is really a
It was a racy episode.
A racy episode.
Racy and dark.
It was a racy, strange episode for
9-year-old
sure.
me, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Probably all went over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you didn't pick up on those things at all. I definitely didn't.
No.
I like where Kathy Bates went on the wrong ship because that made me laugh. I thought that was funny, and then she's all mad, and then she storms into the other person's room.
Oh, are we sailing already? Yes, madam. Oh, good. I made it back just in time. Open up, honey, and see what I bought for you. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have the wrong cabin. I thought this was Promenade 342.
Well, it is Promenade 342.
Well, where's George?
There's no George here. There's just me and the little woman.
What have you done with my husband? This is our honeymoon.
Young woman, if you don't leave immediately, I'm going to call Captain Norton.
Norton? The captain's name is Stubing.
Captain Norton is captain of the Sun Princess.
The Sun Princess? Oh, no. I'm on the wrong ship.
But then it's
how
like
did she get back to the other ship?
She flew to
She
Los
flew to LA.
Angeles.
She flew. Got
yeah,
it.
it ruined the whole thing. I mean, their whole trip was really ruined because they lost days with
He
one
said
another.
they said 2 more days, but it seemed like just 1 more day. But
Yeah.
he's like, I lost 2 more days with my wife on the cruise ship.
But see, his enthusiasm, they really wrapped that story up that had no real ending. And because he just gave it his all, it's just, you don't even notice that it kind of just fell apart towards the end.
He had had enough.
Yeah, they had a tough one, Oh, that was the thing that I thought was funny. When Captain Meryl Stubing was at the table, and then they were like all like sort of like bickering with one another, and the guy was playing the role almost like bad James Bond style, pretending to be this advertising guy. And Meryl kept talking to the wife and being like, "It really is a jungle out there."
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
I
weird.
have that too. It's like as his reactions are so weird.
They were so strange.
Yeah.
They're so innocent.
But like so
'Cause he's
not-
clueless as to
not
what's going
needed,
on.
Not needed too in the storyline. It's
But
just like
no.
just cut to the captain.
I liked it because to me, this is what I did. In my head, I started to think it's more of the backstory of the complexity of Captain Meryl Stubing, where you know how I was saying he's always starstruck by beautiful starlets that come on, that he loves this drama. He's sitting there just like delighting in the fact that they're arguing, and that's why he had them at the table because he knew there'd be some sort of fireworks or something.
The thing is, as a seaman,
He's
love-
the best.
how could he be so innocent?
In this one, it
After
makes
all
no
the-
sense. It makes no sense.
Because like he's just like he doesn't. They are pulling the wool over his eyes all the time.
They pretty much do.
Well, I guess that's that's the
But yet he
comedic
gets
effect.
real stern with them at some points.
Yeah, well, that was a thing too. I noticed his disdain at the beginning for the crew, like for all of them. He's just like annoyed with everybody.
He can be crotchety and cranky,
Yeah.
He's lonely. I mean, we're finding that he is lonely on a lot of these journeys, and he needs someone in his life. Does not have one. He hasn't had any sort of luck with any of the.
Not yet.
So this dude, he comes up with Spritz be gone, and then the next thing you know, it's like the 2 old men. they realize, boy, we need someone in the field. We need a real person who knows what the
they
people
admit
want.
that he's not who they think he is.
Because didn't like all the people just show up at the room or something like that? When did they tell that he wasn't really who he said he was?
He came. I think the guy from Bewitched, didn't he come to the cabin to say, "I'm going to go with you," or maybe he said that earlier.
I'm going to give you the account.
I'm going to give you the account.
Mr. Beatty, allow me to apologize again.
Sir, allow all of us to apologize.
Let's not go into that again.
Son, never apologize for sound thinking.
Mr. Beatty likes your style. And you know what? I do too.
You're in that supermarket every day, watching people, listening to them. We sit in our offices and get carried away with our blue sky theories. You know, sometimes we need somebody to put us back in touch. Tell him, Everett.
We're prepared to offer you a job in the agency.
You'll be working on my account. How does that sound?
Scary. I've never studied advertising. I only know the supermarket. What do you think, honey?
I think once you make up your mind, you can do anything.
Then it's yes?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you're going to enjoy working with us.
Brian,
What?
I know you're not feeling great about the creepy kiss between Bob Crane and his daughter.
Creep me out.
And it seems a little too long, a little too lingering, a little too
Well, there were two of
sensual.
them.
On the lips.
There were two of them.
There were two.
Yeah, they meet after like the first time ever, and then he's kissing her on the lips. But
Twice
see, the thing is,
before they go.
you already covered the fact that he threw himself up against the door, which I loved, in some sort of like silent film dramatic way.
It's like, there's sound on this, right? There's a
So
soundtrack
glad you
on this
pointed
one.
it out because I remember thinking like, and then I forgot about it.
And the captain's witness to all of this, seeing all of this family
That
drama.
was another. Yeah, he does the thing on the door and just there forever, like seemingly forever. And the captain's standing there looking at him doing it, not saying a thing.
What do you say?
Are you okay?
The captain's still reeling from the fact that his entire office was painted blue from the two fake painters from the last cruise. So I think he's still reeling from that. He had to get somebody to come in there and like fix that whole,
Well, and also it was a confusing situation for the captain. First, he was told, "Don't say anything," so then he makes up this elaborate story.
Well, right off the bat,
Yeah.
within 2 seconds, it flips.
It flips on him.
Meryl was, he wasn't
Caught in the
prepared for
middle.
all of this, and so the thing is, then she takes off, completely distraught, the daughter, and then you go to the pool in the middle of the night and just sit there by yourself to just kind of like, grapple with your emotions and all of this mental trauma that you've been put through. And then your husband from the airplane, he shows up. He's walking around the ship with his Polaroid camera, spent the whole day
Let me take a picture of you.
with the dad, and then he wants her to speak with him because he thinks that it would be the best thing to do. She doesn't want to at first, but then she relents.
How can he explain 26 years of not caring?
I can. God knows I did care. I do care. But what I have to offer you? Never been long on responsibility. I can't keep $1 in my pocket. I drink too much, and I never told the truth where the lie would do. The truth is, I would have made your life miserable.
No.
I know it doesn't do any good to say I'm sorry, and I don't expect you to forgive me. But I want you to know that I realize now that I've cheated myself of 26 of the best years a man could have. 26 years of knowing you.
Don't go.
Now, after this, Ryan, can you start to understand why they had that passionate kiss?
No. I still can't. I'm not signing off.
Not going to convince you.
I'm not going to sign off on it.
All right. Well, There's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry.
It just left a real indelible mark on me at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I was watching it like, deer in the headlights.
I know.
What?
Same.
Well, I'm sorry, you two, because you know what? Now they're a family. And he's going to go see the new apartment in 2 weeks when he gets off the ship and brings his prostitute girlfriend with him to hang out, and go check out wherever they live. I don't know if they mentioned somewhere in LA or something like that. So, that's it. They reconcile, and this girl is ready to, start a relationship with her father.
It's going to be good.
No, it's not, because he's going to die in 6 months. Little does she know, after 26 years of not being with her dad, he is going to pass away by being murdered.
Too little, too late.
Oh, poor Bob Crane.
Seriously. That's tragic.
It really is. It's so awful. A 49-year-old Bob Crane.
49?
That's it.
He looks like he's 65.
Michelle, did they...
It drives me crazy every episode, their ages.
Michelle, did they paint the gray on his
I
side?
was wondering that
painted?
to make, because I don't think he could have been that gray at 40.
It looked painted to me.
It looked like they spray painted it on to make him look like a dad.
To make him look like, a distinguished dad.
Make him look old.
Now, Ryan, I forgot to ask you up front. As a kid, did you watch this show? Did you watch Love Boat?
Occasionally.
Because for me, it was religious, not you.
Not religious.
You're a little bit younger than us, so maybe it didn't.
No, it was there. It was in the zeitgeist.
What were your shows? What were your shows that you watched?
I did watch Dukes of Hazzard, but not
Me too.
a lot.
I liked it. I loved it.
I watched a few. I liked the car bit, but because it was so samey every episode, I don't think I ever got through a whole season.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, I liked the familiar, you knew what was going to happen, so it was kind of comforting to me or something.
Yeah.
Did you have any other shows that you, didn't miss or loved to watch?
What would it be? I don't know.
You lived as a hobo, though, as a child. Is that not... you were on trains,
I rode
train
the
cars
rails.
a lot?
I rode the rails.
So as a kid, though, is there anything you can even think of, that you just loved or loved to watch? It was, a favorite show? You can say no, but it's I'm wondering if you did.
No, there had to have been. I just have to think about it. But
did you watch Happy Days at all? Was that anything that you were into?
Occasionally.
What was going on in 80? 81, 82? What would be shows that were on at that time? Because I would have been watching all kinds of shows.
It was Heart to Heart, Dynasty, all that stuff, but I wouldn't watch it.
I think that's a little bit later in the 80s.
Yeah.
My mom was super into all that.
I loved Heart to Heart,
I remember when JR got shot, she had a party.
That I wasn't into.
To watch the reveal.
Never was into it.
And my mom and her friends all liked it, so we watched it as a result.
Name some other stuff.
Did you ever watch Fantasy Island?
Yes.
Yeah,
and Magnum
PI.
PI.
Awesome. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Did you watch the A-Team at all?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep. That was a good one.
Different.
Greatest American Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I have the whole DVD box set of that. I think she got it.
Did you watch $6 Million Man?
It came with a cape.
Did it really?
And it
did
lit
it
up.
work?
It lit up. No, I wish. Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding?
What about $6 Million Man?
Yes. Oh, well, that's one of the famous family stories of mine is... there's this guy, we lived in Arkansas at the time. This guy, Jeffrey, lived across the street and we were friends. And we were in the backyard of my house. We used to play $6 Million Man.
Right, of course.
And my mom comes out of the back door into the backyard one day, and Jeffrey's got my head under the water of the wading pool, and I'm thrashing around
gosh.
And she's like, Jeffrey, what are you doing? And he's like, it's okay. He's the $6 Million Man. He can breathe.
Wait, who is Jeffrey?
Jeffrey was a neighbor friend.
A kid?
Yeah.
You're lucky your mom came
You're
out.
lucky your mom came out, or you'd be dead. You wouldn't be sitting here with this podcast right now.
Yeah, that's
Jeffrey, wherever you are.
Jeffrey's mom, I believe she was a single mom, but she was she had a cool 70s muscle car type thing, and I remember it. That was the first time I ever saw an 8-track tape. Was in that car.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
perhaps she gave you the love of cars.
Yeah, cars and just
breathing
music on weird formats.
I had no idea you lived in Arkansas.
I don't think I knew that either.
Little Rock, Arkansas. And
I didn't know that.
Prior to us living there, the roof had been ripped off by a tornado.
Tornado? Wow.
Yeah. Yikes.
But it was the only house on the block that had. It was really,
a roof?
Yeah.
And a bathroom?
Yeah. Everyone else had an outhouse. They all came to our house to go to the bathroom.
So Jeffrey was kind of angry.
Jeffrey was jealous. He was just
How
jealous
long were you
of her
there?
roof.
How long
was
were you
there
there?
for a year.
A year?
Yeah, all my young stuff was a year. And I was born in Virginia, Mississippi, Arkansas, New Mexico,
Oh my gosh.
Seattle, and then here. Yeah.
Isn't that nuts, though? Because there are stories where everyone, like, almost died from some crazy thing. You know what I mean? You have at least a handful of those things, especially, I mean, it's well covered, like, back when we were growing up, like, rusty, like, things that you're playing on. And
the stuff that we
no helmets.
played with was
Oh, yeah, I smashed
bananas.
my toe off almost with a pipe. Because I was trying to build something and I found a pipe on the street. I smashed it into my foot.
Well, I had the good one. My stepdad was like, you should never... This happened many times in my life. You should never ride someone else's bike because you aren't used to it. You weren't. And then so the next day, ride this guy's bike, just going crazy and just get flung over the handlebars. My whole side of my face in the gutter from here to here. And there's whole heads bandaged up. And like was out of school for like a week because of that.
That's terrible.
My poor kid.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
But hey, it was just what you did. You know, picking gravel out of my face.
That was the worst when you'd wipe out and then your knees would be filled with gravel.
Yep.
Man. Hey, Michelle, what name did you want when you were a kid? What do you want to change your name to?
Dawn.
Why?
I don't know. It could be like...
Why was that a thing?
It was a popular name in the time. And then one of my friends, I think we were in like first grade, but her sister was in 8th grade. And her name was Dawn. And she was so glamorous. Like she had like really long hair. She wore like platform shoes. She had like those platform shoes with like a goldfish in the heel. Like she was just so...
What?
Yeah, she was just...
How old was she?
8th grade. I think she was like in 8th grade or a freshman in high school. They had a big age span.
Who bought her these clothes?
Her mom and dad probably. It was the 70s.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle,
But she was super glamorous, like almost like a Cher. Maybe I probably built it up in my head when I was a little kid.
There were no goldfish.
But her name was Dawn.
Well, hey, dude. I'm glad you were here.
Me too.
We always love to see you. We don't see you nearly enough.
No.
Or your cute little family.
True.
And where are you off to?
I'm going to the UK and to Spain.
Can I come?
Sure.
I want to go to Spain. My neighbor's going to Spain too.
See, you guys, you go to you lie about who you are and get on the
I'm
plane.
like a runaway.
Yeah, that's what you do.
It still works. I'm actually sailing there, so just draw it out another couple weeks.
Are you?
No.
That's awesome.
When do you guys return? If your lovely wife Kelly wants to be on, I'd love to hear her talk about one of these episodes.
Yeah,
and
I would
get
like to
her
see
take on things.
somebody.
I know she's never watched. I'm sure
That's what
she's
I'd like
never
to see because
watched.
we had Evie watch one and comment on it. I would like to
What'd
see.
she say about it?
She's pretty like diplomatic about it and pretty. We'd like to see with a friend, her and a friend too, to see like what their take is because it's interesting to get like a younger perspective, but also like. Kelly grew up in Wales, and I wonder if they were aware of this show. I mean, those shows were popular. Maybe not.
I don't know, because it was a different time. Even when I was living there in the late 80s, there was still only 4 channels.
See, that would be really, if it's the first time she ever saw it, it'd be funny to see what her take is on the show, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe whenever you're around, if you have a moment, you know, it'd be fun. The 4 of us could record and watch one. Try and find one.
We can make more Isaacs.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
All right. Well, we're glad you were here, man.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
joining us on this cruise. Hopefully you guys will be back, and then we'll have both of you on in the future. But until next time, I am Istvan.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Ryan.
Captain Stubing, please come to the bridge.
And we're
loving the Love Boat.
Hi guys, it's me Istvan, host of Lovin' the Love Boat. And before you go, I wanted to invite you to check out my other show, Istvan's Imaginary Podcast. Yes, it is a kids and family show, but I think it's a show anyone can enjoy. Here, take a peek.
Dialing now.
Okay, remember, don't get nervous.
Hello, this is Lewis speaking.
Oh.
Hello.
Say the rest.
Is your refrigerator running?
Excuse me?
Well, why don't you go catch it?
No, he didn't say it. Oh, you did it wrong. Okay, just go to the next one.
May I speak with John, please?
John, there is no John at this residence.
Then how do you go to the bathroom?
Toby, is this you?
Well, let's hang up the phone. That was awesome.
That was so fun. I feel so alive. Let's do it again.
Colorful characters, award-winning music, and humor and content in a capital G-rated glory that can take on any other podcast out there. So whether it's with your kids, nieces and nephews, grandchildren, or just you and your inner child, Istvan's Imaginary Podcast is available everywhere podcasts are found to make you all smile and sing along. Check it out today.